Hey everybody, Alex here with Momentum Charting. If you are new, welcome to the channel. If not, welcome back. Do me a quick favor, jump down below, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Today we are going to be talking about CTRM, Castor Maritime. So subscribing to the channel is the only way to ensure you do not miss a single update this week, next week, and the following weeks on CTRM. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for doing that. Let's jump in here to the chart. So guys, CTRM is a stock that's been on my watch list for some time now, but we have not obviously done an update on this channel on CTRM because quite frankly, there has not been anything to talk about for a long time in CTRM. And yeah, I'm obviously not going to introduce a new stock into our universe of watch list and update stocks that's just stagnant, not doing anything. But I believe today I've spotted something in CTRM that just happened that is potentially very, very interesting on this stock here, CTRM, which is obviously very low priced and comes with a lot of volatility and just really, really interesting. I want to show a few things to you guys on this chart. So I'm on the daily chart here inside of TradingView, and I want to show this to you guys here first. So earlier this year in January and February 2021, we had this massive volume that entered the stock. You can see these big green candles here on a daily basis that started entering the stock, and you could say that that represents sort of a supply zone in this area. In other words, there's big supply, big buying pressure in this area, and a lot of times what you have on high volatility stocks, the first time that they hit these supply zones, it will pump and then return all the way and fade quite a bit. And what has happened here on CTRM is we have retraced all the way back from almost a high of $20 in early February, almost all the way back to that supply zone around $1.50 to $2. So potentially here, to me, it looks like a very interesting time to maybe start thinking about accumulating CTRM. And I'm going to show you a very, very specific reason why, aside from just this chart. Also here, look at this volume here that came in on August 5th. Huge green volume bar, similar to what we were getting here in early January in this year. It does have quite a bit of overhead resistance here, so it wasn't able to break through that. But that's just sort of an interesting side note to me, was just this suddenly in this supply zone, we got this big volume pump. Just a couple days ago on August 5th on CTRM. So let's open up our momentum panel here on the daily, and you can see here pretty clearly. I'm on a daily time frame, and it appears here that we have bottomed on this daily, and also gotten a confirmation momentum trend broken to the upside. The main thing to worry about, as you've heard me talk about before many times, is that stocks that are stuck in these low momentum zones, here's the zero line, we are working in an area well below that right now. They tend to, when they do start pushing down, they tend to retrace quite a bit. So yes, we kind of need to be careful in this area, but you can see here that the momentum on the daily time frame is starting to push up to the upside in almost an accelerating type fashion here. And if we take a look at the 3-hour chart, the 3-hour momentum, I do want to show this to you guys here. Again, looks very, very similar to what was happening on the daily chart, where we got this big sell-off in the stock from, let's see, early February. And again, yeah, this thing topped out. Let me see exactly what the top was. Yeah, almost almost around $20, just shy of $20, and the momentum's been on a slow bleed decline for many months now. And you can see here now again, broken this line of overhead resistance on the momentum, and confirmed here around the end of July, and just since then been slowly working up. And let's look here also at the 15-minute. You can see here the 15-minute momentum sort of working on this really nice upward trajectory. Just peeked its head right here above the 0 line. So to me, a continuation of this trend seems very likely. Just kind of slowly prices working up, and I do believe that if we are able to get to higher levels of momentum, there's a chance for CTRM to start pushing up to the upside in a big way. And interesting, again, just look at that volume coming in on August 5th. That's really, to me, pretty meaningful. And I'm going to show you one more important chart. You can see this, first of all, this positive divergence developing on the momentum while the price has been falling, right? Price is falling here in this zone from May until where we are today, around August 7th, August 8th, and getting this positive divergence on the momentum that's pushing to the upside while prices are pushing to the downside. So that's something also to think about here. And the last most interesting case I want to make for CTRM here right now is I am here on our dynamic trend line, the 20-minute trend, which is really the most granular time frame that I like to use on this. Sometimes I dig into the 5-minute a little bit, 10-minute, but on rarer occasions. This, to me, this 20-minute dynamic trend is very meaningful, because when you get breakouts of price to the upside and start this positive divergence of dynamic trend line and the 250 EMA, this is when you can count on prices usually to start having a really nice chance to move in a strong fashion to the upside. And you can see here, so prices on CTRM at around 10.16 after this big sell-off in early February finally broke down, gave a first signal of a real continued sell-off here on February 25th. Proceeded to dump since then, pulled back to the upside, and then you can see right here on the alignment of the 20-minute right here, see this red dynamic trend line pushing below the 250 EMA. This is kind of like what you would have as like a negative MACD type scenario where the momentum is clearly pushing to the downside. So that's been in place here. So we broke down inside this dynamic trend line in March, early March this year, came back up, and then just kind of stagnated at this point, and then started breaking down for real towards the middle/end of March. And it's been a slow grind of prices to the downside since the middle of March. You guys can see that here. See this dynamic trend just pushing down. Price is never able to really work back above that 250 EMA. So March, all of March, tanking. April, tried to make a push back to the upside towards the end of April, failed miserably. Started again, just this big push down in prices. And it's been the same thing here for April, May, June, July, August, 5 months here. But look what's happened on that big volume spike here on August 5th, where we got all that volume. And I don't think that volume was an accident. Look at all the 20-minute volume bars that were coming in. This wasn't like just a one big purchase order that was filled. This was constant volume coming in at the very beginning of the day for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Big volume coming in on this thing, which spiked the price from $2.02 all the way up to $2.60, and then just kind of tailed off after that. But a point being, look what's happened here finally, okay? We have spiked above the dynamic trend line, and it looks like the dynamic trend, the configuration here is potentially set to start breaking to the upside, so we get this dynamic trend working above the 250 AMA. But you can see here that 250, it looks to me like it's acted as a bit of a support for the price of CTRM, and you can even more see how the price is broken above the 250 EMA, come back, and it looks like it's bouncing back to the upside there. And I do want to show you this also with our 20-minute dynamic RSI. This to me is just part of the excitement as far as I'm concerned on this puzzle we've got here on CTRM. But you see how this is one of the things I always love to look for on a multitude of time frames, is a reset of the RSI and start pushing back to the upside. So you can see here this high here on August 5th around 8:10 in the morning, and just been resetting since then. And look what's happened here. We had this flat zone of RSI here on August 6th early in the morning, and broke out right towards the end of the day on Friday. And this is what I would call a full momentum reset. Looks to me like this RSI has bottomed and is potentially in a formation here to start working back to the upside. So if nothing else, I do believe there is an opportunity here for a short-term swing trade, but I'm a little bit more interested just because of the things I'm seeing, like on the momentum chart, the 15-minute momentum chart, the daily momentum chart, which is pushing back to the upside. This supply zone of massive supply zone of volume that I showed you guys on the daily time frame here, right? And prices returned all the way back to this supply zone of volume that we hit in earlier this year, late last year. So to me, there's potentially getting set for a really nice move to the upside in CTRM. And I did want to show this chart to you guys, just, you know, do your own due diligence and everything like that. Obviously, just like with all my stuff, not buying advice, do your own due diligence, there's risk in the markets, everything like that. But I am seeing this point right now, CTRM, a stock that has been beaten up to the tune of, let's get our ruler tool out here, to the tune of almost 90%. So these are levels that really start to interest me, between 80 and 90% as an investor, especially when you start pulling back to these big supply zones and have some of these interesting longer term momentum indicators in your favor. And I like the setup here. I love the fact that this thing was able to break above this dynamic the dynamic trend area of resistance and broken to the upside. Got that nice RSI reset and looks to be headed higher. So guys, some really interesting things here to be looking at on CTRM. And it looks like almost this this RSI here on a 1 hour time frame as well. Just want to erase some of this other noise on the chart so we can kind of more clearly illustrate this part. Yeah, this to me is really interesting here. You can see this, it looks almost right here. Let me open this panel up so we can get a better view. It looks to me like this RSI has reset, and we have started started the next push to the upside. And to me, if we are finally, which has not happened, you guys can see here on this chart, it's been a long time since we have had RSI that has been operating in this zone above the 50. And if we can get this RSI to start pushing higher in these zones here, this is definitely going to lead to CTRM price expansion over the next couple of weeks, in my humble opinion. So guys, that's it. That's my entire take on CTRM. I really hope you enjoyed the content. Hope to give you some food for thought here with Castor Maritime. If you have not yet done so, jump down below, join the content, hit the subscribe button. It's totally free. hit the bell notification. Doing those things will ensure you do not miss my next update on CTRM. I definitely want to do an update either tomorrow or Tuesday, kind of see where this RSI thing on the 20-minute time frame and 1 hour time frame has developed that I thought was really interesting on this dynamic trend line chart. So again, subscribe to the channel. Guys, I will see everybody again shortly in the next CTRM update. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.